Hi, and welcome to How to Access and Understand Your Degree Progress Report, or DPR. In this video, we will introduce the DPR, discuss why it is helpful, when to use it, how to access it, and how to read it. What is the Degree Progress Report? The DPR is an online tool that outlines your degree requirements and tracks the progress towards completing your degree. The DPR lists coursework completed from CSUN, other institutions, and even AP and IB exams. Displays what work is meeting your requirements, such as general education, major, and other graduation requirements. And it shows CSUN requirements that still need to be completed. Why is the DPR helpful? It's a great way to help you decide what classes to take next, and it helps you keep track of your progress towards graduation. Any time is a great time to use the DPR, but here's some common ways you can make the most out of this tool. Before and after class enrollment. Before enrolling, your DPR can help you select classes that will meet your requirements. After enrolling, the DPR is a great way to double check that your selected courses are meeting your needs. When preparing for advising appointments, it's a good idea to review your progress so far and your options for the upcoming semester so that you can use your advisement time more effectively, not just for class, but for questions you might have about your requirements, ways to get involved on campus, and how to make the most out of your academic experiences. The DPR is a great way to double-check grades after each semester to ensure that you meet the requirements. If you've submitted transcripts from another institution or official score reports from AP or IB exams, check the DPR to see what credit you may have received and if they meet any of your requirements. The DPR can also help you keep track of how close you are to graduation. When you're about a year away from graduating, it's time to submit that graduation application. Next, we will go over how to access and read your degree progress report. To start, please open a web browser and navigate to www.csun.edu. Once you have opened the CSUN website, navigate to the top left where it says My CSUN, and then select CSUN Portal. Once you have logged in to your portal, you will see different options at the top of your screen. To access your degree progress report, or DPR, you will select Academics, Advising and Degree Planning, and then Degree Progress Report. Once we have selected Degree Progress Report, it will take us to this screen. It is where we request an audit or a degree progress report. And usually it will default to your current program. That means your current major and current catalog year. There is a way to update this and run it under different degree progress reports from this section here, but I would encourage you to check with your advisor first to ensure that you are doing this part correctly. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to use the major that we have here for Maddie the Matador. Down here, you will see that it provides you with some options. Include in-progress courses. I'm going to leave that checked. And then format. I can select regular HTML version, or I can select PDF. I'm going to go over the PDF document first, but we're going to come back to this HTML version later. I'm going to select PDF and select Run Audit. Takes a moment to update and fully pull up your degree progress report, but when it does, it'll show up like this: completed audit requests. We will see here, there's my exploratory, when I created it, and to look at this request, I would select View Audit. From here, it automatically downloaded for me. For you, if it didn't automatically download, you should be able to select this Download PDF Audit button. Here, I have the PDF version of the Degree Progress Report. I believe it is helpful to save this to your device so that you can either annotate and write notes on this, or you can print it out, especially if you're planning on going to an academic advisement appointment. So for this portion of the video, we are going to go through the degree progress report piece by piece. Now at the top, you'll notice again, when this was prepared, name, major, the ID number. If you've applied for graduation, it will let you know what that date is here and the catalog year. And again, program right here on top. For this sample student, this student is exploratory. And then you'll notice here it says at least one requirement has not been satisfied. If you applied for graduation and you met all of the requirements and you pulled up this degree progress report, this would actually show up as green, letting you know that the requirements have been satisfied and that you're ready to be awarded your degree. But all the way up until that point, we're going to see that this is red and it's going to say at least one requirement has not been satisfied. Now on the first page, there's a few paragraphs that show up that are basically providing you with information about policy. This first one will essentially say that the DPR is a tool. It's not an official document. The unofficial transcript may be better for repeats, GPA, and academic standing. And if you have any questions, contact your advisor. The second one here says courses which meet major requirements may not be taken on a credit, no credit basis unless the course is offered on a credit, no credit basis only. So essentially what this is saying is that your courses need to be graded unless it is only offered as credit, no credit, or there's a specific instance where it can be credit, no credit. And then this third paragraph here, this third section here, says that the requirements that are listed as in progress or planned are not yet completed. So they must be successfully completed with the minimum passing grades in order to be used towards degree requirements. Next, on your degree progress report, you will see a note that indicates what your general education plan is. So this sample is General Education Plan J, but please check your degree progress report to see if it is different. Because this sample is an exploratory major, you will see that it says that an exploratory major must declare no later than completing 60 units. All right. For the majority of this degree progress report, the focus will be on your graduation requirements and what courses need to be completed in order to meet those requirements. It breaks up this information into different sections, and that makes it a little bit easier for us to be able to track what's already been completed and what still needs to be completed. At the top of each section, it provides some instructions. It tells us what area we are looking at. It tells us what we are learning in this area. It tells us how many units we need. And of those units, how many need to come from each graduation requirement or subsection. So at the top of every section of the DPR, it is going to provide you with that information. It may tell us a little bit more beyond that. For example, for this section, it tells us that a minimum grade of C- is required for everything that's in here. So what's really important as you look through each section is make sure you're reading line by line to see what information and instruction it is giving you. After those instructions, it provides you with the graduation requirements or subsections. You will see the first one listed here is 1A, English composition. Next, we have 1B, critical thinking, and 1C, oral communication. So in this section, we have 3 requirements, and we need 3 units from each to meet the 9 required. We see 1A, English composition. Right underneath, it says course list. So it is providing us with a list of options anything that somebody might take to meet this requirement would be listed here. If you're unsure which course you need to take to help meet this requirement, please talk to your advisor. But when we see a course list, that's a good indicator that we still need something to complete that area. Another indicator is that we see this minus sign. When we have a requirement that has not been met, you will see a minus sign here, and you will see at the top of the section a no to indicate that that area has not yet been completed. Okay. So we see through this sample that this student still needs an English composition course, a critical thinking course, and an oral communication course. As you're going through your degree progress report, you might want to highlight some of these areas that we're covering. For example, what's the area called? Number of units, minimum grade, and you might want to highlight those areas that you still need to complete. If you want to go one step further, you might even want to write how many more units you need to the left of each requirement. So you could say 3 units, 3 units, and 3 units. Next, we will see Area 2, Mathematical Concepts and Quantitative Reasoning, 3 units. Tells us select 3 units from the listed courses, and a C- is also required for this. And then it provides us with some options. Many majors on campus will have a specific math that is required, so make sure that if you still need something here, that you talk to your advisor for help determining which one. Before we continue, let's do a pop quiz. We're going to zoom into the next area and answer some questions. What's the title of this area? How many units do you need? How many units do you need from each section? For this sample student, do they still need both requirements? How do you know? How did you do? Was there anything you couldn't answer? If so, please go back to review Area 1 and 2 before continuing. Once you're ready, continue to watch this video to check your answers and learn more about the DPR. Area 3, Arts and Humanities requirement, 6 units. We need to do 3 from 3A Arts and 3 from 3B Humanities. Here's the Arts and our course list, Humanities and our course list. And you'll see that the area continues on to the next page until we're ready for Area 4, Social and Behavioral Sciences, 6 units, and a course list here. Area 4A, Constitution of the United States, and Area 4B, California State and Local Government. Area 4A, Constitution, you'll see it says select one of the listed courses, but then it also says all of these courses will also meet the Area 4B, California State and Local Government requirement. What that is trying to tell us is that if you need something here, you can take any of these courses listed and it will also work for Area 4B. Next, we have Area 5, Physical and Biological Sciences, 7 units needed. And it says coursework in this section must include 1 lecture course in each sub-area, 5A and 5B, plus 1 5C lab that is connected to either 5A or 5B. So essentially what that means is that students are going to take a physical science, a biological science, and a lab to match. For this sample student, we see 5A physical science might be met. We see that there is a course that shows is currently in progress. So we see that course is Geography 106 LRS, Earth Science Lecture and Lab. We see that this was taken at a community college, so Los Angeles Pierce College, and the name of the course at Pierce College. If you see something like this in your degree progress report and it has IP, make sure to send an official transcript once you are done with the course so that this can be updated with your grade. So you'll notice that because there's a course that might complete this section, there's no course list available here because it's presuming that that student's going to be done. But here, biological science, since there is no course in progress or completed, there's still a course list. Down here, we see that this student has completed a lab. Again, it's connected to that Earth 3 from Pierce. Next, we see CSUN Section F, Comparative Cultural Studies, Gender, Race, Class, Ethnicity Studies, and Foreign Language requirement. For this, we need 6 units. Next, we have Upper Division General Education courses. Upper Division means junior, senior standing. So that's 60 or more units earned. So if you do not currently have 60 or more units earned, that's okay. Just be aware that these are upper division units that you would need to come back to later. But if you are an upper division student, a junior or senior, you should know that this section requires 9 units. And to complete it, you need to complete something that's upper division from area 2 or 5. So that's math or science, 3 units. And then for the remaining 6 units, you're going to choose one of the combinations below. One is area 3, which is arts and humanities for 3 units. And area 4, which could be social sciences or US Constitution. Area 3 and CSUN Section F, or Area 4 and CSUN Section F, or 6 units from within Section F itself. Now again, it gives us a little note here. It says upper division general education must be taken no sooner than the semester in which junior standing is achieved. So we need to make sure that we are going to reach junior standing at the end of the semester, or that we've already reached junior standing by the time we start taking some of these courses. You will also notice it says upper division general education must be taken at a CSU campus. Most of the time that is going to be CSUN, but sometimes students will transfer work from other CSUs that might work here. It also says students enrolling in these courses must have completed lower division GE courses in English composition, critical thinking, oral communication, and math concepts, quantitative reasoning. So you must have those first before you work on these courses. And you'll see the list of only upper division courses offered within Area 2, Area 5, Area 3, Area 4, and CSUN Section F. Next, we will see Area 6 Ethnic Studies requirement, 3 units. We need one of these courses here, but it does tell us that this course may also meet a general education requirement. So what that means is that we have a list of courses here that might also be popping up in other general education areas that we still need to complete. In which case, you can check to see which of these might show up in one of your other GE areas. And if you complete one that shows up in both, it'll work for both. Down here, we have American history requirement. We need one from here. and a lifelong learning requirement, 3 units. Again, this course may also meet a general education requirement. So if I see a course listed here and in one of our other GE areas, then that means that it can work for both. We also have basic skills information competence. You'll see it says we need 1 course, but you'll notice that a lot of times our writing course, or maybe even an oral communication or critical thinking course, likely is going to take care of this section. We also have subject explorations information competence. This is a little bit different. The other one's basic skills, this one's subject explorations. You'll see that we need 3 units from here. And again, this course may also meet a general education requirement. So that means you might see a course that shows up here and shows up in another GE area. Writing skills requirement, once you are done with your lower division writing, which is one of these below, then you'll be done with this area as well. So you'll notice these courses are the same courses that popped up in that first page of our degree progress report. After that, you will see graduation writing assessment requirement. This is completed by receiving a grade of C or better in 6 units of CSUN coursework that is designated as writing intensive. Usually that means 2 courses of upper division general education, or completion of English 345 at CSUN with a grade of C or better. After that, you will see courses that are required by your major, but it will show up in a very similar format. It will tell you what that section is called, how many units you need, what your course options or requirements are. So it will very much follow the same format that we've seen so far in this degree progress report. After it covers your major information, next it will provide us with additional courses which count towards total units for a degree. When completed, these courses are included in total units earned and GPA. So maybe these were required courses that led up to a GE or a major requirement. Or perhaps they were courses that you took at a community college that were transferable but didn't meet a GE requirement or a major requirement. But they are helping you with total units earned and with your GPA. After that, it'll go into unit and GPA requirements. Everyone, regardless of major, must complete at least 120 semester units. Depending on your major and your GEs, you might be higher or lower than 120. If you're lower than 120, you will need some extra electives to help you get to a minimum 120. If you're higher than 120, that's okay, as long as you meet all your major and general education requirements for graduation. So the 120 semester units is a requirement that's a bit separate from general education and major requirements. You need both. What this will do is tell us how many units we've completed towards the minimum 120 for graduation, how many units are in progress, and how many more that we need for the 120. You might need more depending on your major and GE requirements, but this is just calculating how close are we to this graduation requirement of 120. For my transfer students, you'll note it says no more than 70 units can come from a community college and can be applied to the total units towards the degree. What this means is that you will still earn credit for anything that you took that works for a GE or a major or anything that meets our overall units, but only 70 will be counted towards this 120 requirement. You'll also notice There's this: you must complete 40 upper division units overall. You must complete 30 units at CSUN. You must complete 24 upper division units at CSUN, 12 units in your major at CSUN, 9 units of general education at CSUN, and then we have some grade requirements. Need a 2.0 GPA in all coursework taken at CSUN. You must have a 2.0 grade point average in all coursework taken towards the degree. This is CSUN plus any other institution that you've attended. You also will need a 2.0 GPA for anything upper division coursework in your major. These are 3 of the most important GPAs that you need to be aware of for graduation purposes. You'll notice some student responsibilities to check with university policies and requirements, submit official transcripts from all transfer institutions, and that all CSUN incompletes must be changed to a final grade before a degree can be granted. And that's the end of your DPR. Now that we have reviewed the degree progress report under the PDF function, let's go ahead and take a look to see what it would look like with an HTML version. So I'm going to use regular HTML. I'm going to run the audit. Again, it's going to take a moment to update. I can see the old audit here. And now I see the HTML format right on top. I'm going to select View Audit. And then it pulls up the degree progress report information through HTML version. Now, the very first thing you want to do if you're using this is to select Open All Sections. That way we know there's no information that is hidden. You will see that it looks very similar to what we see in the degree progress report under the PDF version. There are some changes. For instance, we will see red X's instead of no's, green check marks instead of OKs, and we'll see red X's instead of minus signs or plus signs to indicate if the requirement has been met. The other big change that you'll notice is that these courses are hyperlinked. If you click on the hyperlink, it will provide you with some details about the course. The same type of information that you might find in the catalog. It tells you prerequisite information, a description of the course, if it works for a GE area, and when that course might be available. The DPR is a helpful tool in so many ways. The more that you review and access your DPR, the easier it will be to ensure that you're prepared for your next semester and that you are on track for graduation. Thanks for watching.